live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bad House RPG. Today I'm gonna be your host instead of the usuals. Hello, I'm Oleander, and welcome to the premiere of Slumber, a liminal horror 8-episode miniseries. You can meet us after the break for some Bad House announcements. First, let's give our content warnings. Our usual content warnings for the show can be found in the Twitch command !SCW. Cast command is !Slumbercast. And a little summary of the show can be found at !Slumber. Our usual content warnings for this show are Unreality, nightmares, streetcar accidents, foggy weather, gore, body horror, cheating, medical malpractice, stillbirth mentions, self-harm, blackmail, internalized homophobia, and misogyny, alcoholism, addiction, and PTSD depictions. Please take care of yourself first and foremost. Additionally, we also have channel points that can be used on this game. Help our dreamers here with a 3,000 point donation to give them a -1 on their rolls that will unfortunately disappear after every episode. In liminal horror, -1s are very good because they need to roll below whatever their current stats are, and the game gets harder the longer the game goes on. So those -1s are useful. So if you have the ability, throw those 3,000 channel points at somebody. Give them a little bit of an easier time. As a reminder, I am Oleander. My pronouns are they, them, and you can find me at Stray Nerd Boy, basically everywhere but Instagram. And at that, I'm going to throw it over to Josephine.
Hello, everyone. I am very happily gifting the host seat over to Oleander. I am Josephine at Scary Dog Friend. I am one of the co-producers of Bad House RPG, and I will be playing Harlan Yoon. He, him. You'll find out. Abhishek, you're next.
Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Vitange, he, him pronouns. I'll be playing Layla Patel, she, her pronouns. She's fun. You'll find out about her later. And I'll pass it off over to you, Sean.
What's up, guys, gals, non-binary pals? My name is Sean. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm going to be playing as Tyler Crow, who is just the saddest little man, and just big sad, because that's the brand. And I'm going to throw it over to Kendo.
Hello everybody, my name is Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer. I use whatever pronouns feel best in the moment, and I am playing Dr. James Dunnington, who uses he, him pronouns. And I'm going to give it back to our most wonderful GM. Don't kill me.
I'm actually going to throw it back over to Joe.
Yeah.
No!
Now, before we start our game, we also have exciting news for everyone watching. We are in celebration of Space Penguin Inc. crew backer kitting for Liminal Horror Deluxe Edition. You can find the link right there. The previous edition that we are playing right now is for free on itch.io. Starting right now, you can enter in the chat !Sandman and enter a raffle to be the owner of 6 digital copies of official Liminal Horror modules from Goblin Archives. We'll be doing 3 for tonight, but we will be doing more in our following episodes. There will be a winner before break, after break, and right at the very end. So 3 of you will be potential winners for 6 official modules. If you are a winner, please make sure that you check your Twitch messages so that we can get a best email. We will also be announcing physical giveaways very, very soon. Take it away, Oleander.
All right, everyone. Is everyone ready for the game?
Absolutely not.
As ready as I could be.
Let's get started then. At 7:43 p.m., a shroud of mist overcame Crescent Valley City. Within 60 seconds, every single citizen had fallen into a deep slumber. For the next 15 minutes, there was a slow build toward chaos. Traffic came to a standstill, both peacefully and violently. Kitchens and a handful of buildings caught fire, filling the air with the despair of burnt dinners and ruined nights. Blood drips off the spokes of a bicycle in an alleyway on 10th Street, its biker's body nowhere to be found. A streetcar just tipped over on Main Street. A pool of blood leaks from its insides. And no one is awake to scream for help. The rest of the world is unaware of the supernatural events that are about to transpire. Let us focus in on a plume of smoke downtown. There's a neon sign that carves the name Jackie's Place through the mist, but it is slowly being consumed by the flames coming up from below. The diner has been serving the best burgers in town for years, and they have a damned good milkshake selection too. Being right across the street from a movie theater kept it busy. Business was good. Now it's all up in flames. Among the people in this building, at least one of the people still alive, is one Tyler Crow. Rise and shine, Tyler Crow. You find yourself collapsed. Face on a hard, flat, grimy floor of one of the bathrooms in Jackie's Place. Your body is wedged between the door and its frame, and the last thing you remember is stumbling into it when you passed out. The air is hard to breathe, your eyes sting, and your back has been soaked by the sprinklers going off above you. Something must be on fire in the restaurant, because there's a smog beginning to fill this restroom. As you stumble to your feet and see yourself in the mirror, what do we see?
So Tyler, standing in front of the mirror, is wearing like a fisherman beanie and a hoodie with an apron over it. His face looks very unkempt and kind of covered in acne. He has sunken eyelids and what looks like the remnants of a healed chemical burn on one side of his face. His hair is kind of disheveled. You can see kind of a mullet sticking out of the back of his beanie. Not so much a fashion statement as a lack of getting to the barbershop. And he kind of has a bit of a patchy beard that he doesn't feel motivated to shave. But as he looks up in the mirror, he kind of has the face of somebody who doesn't know what is going on, but also isn't incredibly motivated to find out.
As you feel the smog begin to burn your lungs a little, and your attention goes back to the door, I assume you exit the bathroom eventually.
Yeah.
And as you do, a handful of customers are scattered across the floor in various spots of the restaurant, and the kitchen is completely engulfed in flames. What do you do?
I think there's like a moment where Tyler briefly gets like, he sees the flames and he gets like almost like a call to the void, and like in a split second kind of like extends his hand to kind of see how hot the flames are and if he can feel them on his fingertips, almost just wanting to feel something. And then his senses kind of kick in, realizing that this is a life or death situation, and that a normally mentally adjusted person right now would be seeking some kind of self-preservation, and he rushes under the sink and tries to dig out a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. As you dig out, you're looking for a fire extinguisher. That requires you to have to go into the kitchen a little bit. And as you do, there is fire everywhere. The sort of deep fryer that the French fries would go into has completely burst into flames. You can see the unconscious bodies, some already on fire, of some of your coworkers, and the sink, which is a bit further down the kitchen, is fully available, but you are slipping and sliding a little bit through the grease that has been on the floor that's also catching fire in places, mixed in with the slickness of the sprinklers above that are completely ineffective in terms of putting out this fire. You manage to make it over to the kitchen, and the fire extinguisher is available, but it's going to be a bit difficult to figure out where to apply it, as it is only one extinguisher. You can see that the deep fryer, of course, is on fire. The grill is on fire. Your manager is on fire. As well as the section of the restaurant where you can see all the buns for burgers and hot dogs and whatnot that are served, also fully engulfed in flame. Where are you taking this?
So I think the first thing he does, he grabs the fire extinguisher, and seeing his manager is on fire, does it look like his manager is at all like savable, or is this just a charred husk of a person at this point?
You see their leg is on fire and the fire is beginning to spread, but at the exact same time, you don't see them moving. They look as though they're in a deep sleep, as is everyone that you see, both in the kitchen, out on the floor.
He's like just completely overwhelmed by this situation, and his hand is trembling, and he's thinking about like wanting to save these people without having any idea of how he would do that. And I think in the moment he just then like whips around and turns on the fire extinguisher and tries to extinguish any flames between him and an exit, because he's gonna run.
All right. So as you're moving toward the fire exit in the back, the glowing emergency exit sign peeks through, piercing through the smog that is built up in the building, and you can feel the heat of the kitchen behind you as you cut a path through, trying to just make it to freedom, make it to safety. And as that is happening, I would like you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
All right. That is going to be a 14. My dexterity is... Where did my character sheet go? There it is. My dexterity is an 11, so that is a failure.
That is a failure. So, as you are trying to make it to this exit in the back of Jackie's place, you feel the heat behind you burst. Something in the kitchen has exploded, and you find yourself being launched toward the exit door. And you are going to take 4 damage. As flames hit you in the back and the shockwave launches you out of the door into the alleyway of Jackie's place.
So the thing about that is, I have 2 hit points.
So that means that you already are out of your hit protection, because HP in this game is hit protection. and the remaining 2 damage is going to come out of your strength score in this case, as you find yourself being rattled already.
Yeah, so I guess catapulted through the door, probably feeling a couple bones break. Now just kind of like outside of this building, curled up in the fetal position, like, and I think that he's like yelling at himself almost, and just like, you couldn't save them and you can't even save yourself, and just completely self-deprecating, and upset with the situation.
Mm-hmm. And as you are taking this anger with yourself, out on yourself, screaming out into this alleyway, with an inferno beginning to grow behind you, you see, coming from the flames, a humanoid figure. Humanoid in shape, at least. Skeletal in figure. Silhouetted by its eternally burning flame, exiting the building. And you can see its skeletal head turn towards you. What do you do?
I scream. Seems like the sensible thing to do. And just kind of petrified by this creature, as I scream, does it move towards me at all, or is it just standing there?
You see it begin to take its first steps out of what is left of the doorway that you just were launched out of. It is beginning to walk toward you in a slow, almost zombie-like shuffle.
I think he kind of like hobbles up to one leg and, like, clutching his side, just begins to, in a quick limp down the alleyway, try and get as far away from this thing as possible.
All right. As you move down this alleyway, you come around the corner, and you find yourself looking out at the rest of the street. You see cars have completely stalled wherever it was they were in traffic when whatever happened. Just like in the restaurant, people are asleep all over the city. You find yourself just a few feet away from a businessman slumped over in a bush, another few feet away from a old man who's fallen down onto a bench, and you can see blood dripping from underneath the bench, as if perhaps they might have busted their face on the way down. You still have this strange being pursuing you from behind, and, well, there's an intersection down at the end of the street on one end, and on the other hand, there's a sharp right turn. Which one are you taking?
That is a great question, but also I want to ask a clarifying question. Since you said that there are kind of cars that are kind of crashed around, do any of them appear to be on or operable?
Some of them do actually look to be on. So the ones that were actively on maybe were braked at a stoplight or were about to be pulled out of their parking spot are still on. There is actually a woman whose face is like buried in the steering wheel of a car, honking eternally as she snores into this, let's say it's one of those Beetle looking cars.
He kind of like runs over and opens the door and says, "You're not supposed to take Benadryl while operating a vehicle," and pulls her out and kind of throws her on the sidewalk and gets in the Beetle. And looking in the rear view, is this creature still pursuing him?
Yes, the creature comes out of the alleyway, and the flames, like an extension of Jackie's place, have continued to spill out behind it, almost like a flood of water at its feet, and it turns toward you. It's still moving quite slow.
He grips the steering wheel and kind of like white knuckles it, and like holds it for a second. His hands begin to tremble, and he just goes, "Fuck it," and he throws it in reverse. And then he is gonna try and back into this thing with the car.
You know what? Hell yeah. In liminal horror, any form of offense is an auto hit for the players. And so what is going to happen is hitting someone with a car is pretty big. So I'm going to let you roll a d10.
All right. See what we got here. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. That is a 7.
All right. And so you find yourself pushing this car into reverse, stomping on the gas, and flying backwards. And you manage just perfectly to slam this creature into the brick wall of a building behind it. And you hear its just ghastly squeal. It rattles the carapace of this car, and you can feel the heat emanating from the back window that shatters a little bit when you crash into it. But yeah, you do a fair amount of damage with that.
He looks back, Tyler, and he looks back through the window. He says, "Technically, you ran into the back of me, so legally, this is your fault." And then he goes into the drive, and he is going to try his best to peel out of there.
All right. Do you go towards the intersection or towards the right turn?
I think we're going towards the right turn.
All right. So you turn down this right street, and as you do, once again, you see cars that have swerved off, bumped into a light pole. You see the tracks to the streetcar. Doesn't currently have any streetcar that you can see, but you can see a person that has stumbled onto the tracks and fallen asleep right where they stood. And as you continue to drive down this street, you eventually hear a voice from the passenger seat.
Jesus!
You are not asleep. Not like everyone else. As you look over to your right, you don't see a person. You see a golden baby sheep, a lamb, sitting in your passenger seat, head turned towards you, and as it stares at you, this voice is beamed directly into your mind.
Okay. What? How is everyone else asleep?
I am in the process of figuring this out myself. But if you come with me, if you help me, perhaps I can help you too.
Listen, this is I don't know what this is or what's going on here. Or do you have a name?
You can call me Myriad.
Okay. Where are we supposed to go, Myriad?
A place of great knowledge. Does your realm possess a library?
Yeah, we've got several. Even though they're kind of like going to shit because federal funding kind of sucks nowadays. But we've got one.
Then we must go there.
Okay, but you might be a little disappointed. Like it's really like it's going to crap nowadays.
I do not know what this means, but I will trust your word.
But yeah, in any case, Tyler is going to, having no other lead than the ethereal sheep in the passenger seat, he is gonna go to the library.
And yeah, as you step on the gas and begin to head toward this Crescent Valley Public Library downtown, the nearest one, we actually pull our focus away from this car up into the sky and across the city, we move to another part of Crescent Valley, a place more peaceful, at least on the surface. More so than a downtown diner going up in smoke, at least. We find ourselves in an old house, one that's been passed down for a few generations, and there's definitely been plenty of money put into its upkeep. Rather than a smog that chokes the life out of you, the air is filled with an aroma of wonderful beef bourguignon, a stew of meat and vegetables simmered in red wine for hours, now reaching completion. The granite island in the center of the kitchen is covered in red liquid pooled around the face of Dr. James Dunnington. Rise and shine, Dr. Dunnington. Awaking as if from a restful nap, you find yourself slumped over your kitchen island in a pool of your own spilled red wine. As you tilt your face up from the wine and spot yourself in the reflection distorted in the glass of the toppled over bottle, what do we see?
Dr. James is an older black man in like mid-50s thereabout. He's beginning to bald and has a really like neatly trimmed just like beard and mustache. He keeps it pretty short, keeps it pretty tight, and his glasses that he was wearing at the time are cracked, gold framed, kind of roundish, and he's wearing a button-down shirt with the sleeves rolled up, and a pair of suspenders and like nice slacks, and he pushes himself up off of the granite island and is just kind of like looking at like arms and like shirt that's now like stained red. I think it was a white shirt at first, but now it's just kind of stained. He doesn't have a sense of like how long he's been out, I don't think, and so like it's just like going like, damn it, this isn't gonna get out. And like just kind of like looking around to try to regain a sense of like, where am I right now? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, as you come to consciousness, you and look around, you truly can't tell how long it has been since you fell asleep. Even when you look over to the clock above the microwave, you can actually see that the time just reads as a bunch of zeros, like your clock has been reset and hasn't been set to a current time yet. That said, your dinner does smell delicious.
And like the smell, like after like, you know, clocking the clock, and like senses like slowly like catching back up to his senses, recognizes like, oh shit, and like goes like runs around the counter like over to the stove, takes the pot off and like gets like and like grabs a spoon and starts to like stir to like check to see if it's burned, that kind of deal. Is it burned?
It's actually not. It looks like it had the perfect amount of time. It's been simmering all day. You've been waiting for it. You had your glass of wine ready, at least until you spilled your bottle when you fell asleep at the counter.
Like recognizing that, like, okay, it's good. And it, like, is like immediately like, oh, thank. Goes in with the spoon, takes out a little, goes for a taste. And it's this really like savory umami,
Actually,
like just like a little. Oh, okay.
As you go to take a bite of your food, I need you to make a control save for me.
You hate me. You won't let me have food? That's crazy.
I'm food blocking you, dog.
You're gonna food block me? What if I succeed this, though? What if I'm just, like, that cool? I rolled a 7. My controls are 15, so that's a success, correct?
Yeah, you succeed. So as you're lifting up the spoon to your mouth, you do notice something is wrong. You look down at your spoon, and there's a set of teeth on your spoon that was poised to bite your lips off up until you stopped and noticed.
The moment that I notice, immediately, like, throwing down the spoon, like, fuck. Fuck. And then I, like, go to look into, like, the pot itself to see if there are any other, teeth. Like, what the fuck is in there?
As you go to look into the pot, you see the beef, the vegetables, the broth of red wine, and then you see 2 eyeballs open up like they're blinking open in the pot, and the face begins to rise out. And it sort of warps upward like you're watching a bubble form out of the top of the pot.
Eyes go wide, and immediately I'm gonna try to take, like, the lid and just, like, slam it shut and, like, try to, like, just throw it away from me.
Yeah, and as you push the pot to the ground, it spills all over the floor. It just, all this hard work, all this effort to get this beef situated in the perfect way to end your night. And what you're witnessing now is just it spilled across the floor sadly, and it begins to formulate almost into a liquid substance that almost forms an arm as it pulls itself out of the pot as it tumbles over and begins crawling its way out of the pot. What do you do?
Immediately is just, like, hyperventilating, and I think he has one of 2 thoughts, and his first thoughts are, oh fuck, did I take my meds today? And I think that's the train of thought that he ends up going, and, like, just tries to, like, quickly, like, back up, and, like, isn't necessarily running, is moving very quickly towards his bathroom, the upstairs bathroom in that's, like, attached to, like, the master bedroom, because I think there's a portion in his mind that is not fully convinced that this isn't real, and not fully convinced that this isn't his fault, because he doesn't remember if he took his meds. And so is trying his best not to freak out, because, like, and, like, make, like, a huge, like, thing of this, because it's all in his mind. And he just needs to get his shit together right now.
So you run into your bathroom, and real quick, where do you store your meds in your bathroom?
It's in the mirror, like the mirror cabinet, like right above the sink. There should be, like, he keeps his pills in, like, the weak pill containers, so that this doesn't so he knows that this doesn't happen, because sometimes he's just a little forgetful and forgets that he has forgotten. And so it's helpful if it has the day and the morning and night to, just to make sure.
And as you find this little container and you look in the Wednesday section of it, you actually look down and it's empty. You've taken your meds. And then you hear a sound from down the hall, emanating from where the kitchen was. You hear a very dastardly
I think his first thought is his first thought is to run to the closet. There is a case on the upper shelf, pushed all the way to the back to the left. It's locked. He needs to get it, unlock it first. That's first thought.
Sorry, what was that?
Closet. There's a case in the upper shelf all the way to the left behind some boxes of stuff that he doesn't like looking at.
Yes. As you begin moving toward this closet, you begin pulling things out of the way, looking for this box, and you can hear this squelching of something moving down the hallway as you do. And what are you looking for in this here box?
In this box is a revolver. There's a singular bullet in here. He's got to unlock it, of course. It's a 4-digit code. It's his ex-wife's birth year. And he just needs the gun. He needs the gun, the bullet, and to leave.
Yes. So you unveil this revolver with a singular bullet in a box locked away behind your ex-wife's code. And you begin to attempt to escape from this building, correct?
Yeah, I think I immediately realized that going down the stairs or down the hallway super isn't the move. This is only a 2-story building. People can survive that fall, so out the window is where I'm going.
All right. I'm gonna need you to make me a dex save to make it out this window.
Okie doke, boss. I can do just that.
Can you stick the landing?
Can I stick the landing? Whoa, in another game, that'd be really good. That was a 19.
So
and
you don't stick the landing.
I do not. My dex is 16.
All right. You take 4 damage on this fall.
Yeah, 4 damage. That's not that bad.
All right. So you land and you fall a little bit wonky on your ankle. Perhaps you might have strained it a little bit on the way down, and it's definitely going to take away some mobility in the coming hours. And as you begin to move, looking for your as you begin to move, looking for salvation, you can actually see through the window of one of your lower story windows the silhouette of the creature that you've left behind. Shaped almost like that of a woman. But dripping from each of its limbs as it tears through your lower story of your home, looking for you.
Oh fuck. Okay. I start trying to move away from the house first. My ankle is a little fucked up, so it's not going to be fast, but I'm like immediately, like I turn around, I start calling out like, help, is anybody? And like just like trying to, I think the neighbor's house is the first place I try to go, or like if there's no one immediately on the street, I guess street is where I'm looking first. Neighbor's house, if failing that.
As you look out onto the street, you don't see anyone, and you can see across the street one of your neighbors. One of your neighbors across the street has the light to her kitchen on, but she also is passed out in the middle of the floor. You can even look down the street and you can see it. There is a mail truck that is completely tilted over onto its side, spilling people's mail all over the streets. And as you're calling out for help, you eventually hear a voice answer back. Hello, dreamer.
What the fuck? And like the like kind of hunching down, looking around, gun kind of just like drawn, looking back and forth. Who the fuck? What the fuck? Where? What the fuck?
Down here, and below you.
Almost not truly wanting to look down whatsoever, but infinitely curious, morbidly so. Like, looks down with eyes more so than with their head.
And looking back up at you, you see a small golden baby sheep. A lamb, if you would. And they look back up to you and they go, "You are not asleep. Not like everyone else."
Okay. I'm dreaming. All right. This is a dream. All right.
You are not asleep.
This is a dream. I get it. All right.
You are in danger right now.
What the fuck? Okay.
I can help you, but you need to help me.
Prove to me I'm not dreaming, if I'm not dreaming.
The baby lamb bites your other ankle.
Jesus! And like they just kick it off. Oh shit. Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. Okay. And it's just like very like I want to be so clear. No formal gun training. And so it's just kind of like a waving. This gun does not have a good trigger finger. Like fully is just right there waving it around. Like what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh shit. Okay. What the fuck? Sheep. Talking sheep. And the recognition that this isn't a dream makes him immediately turn to look back towards the house where he saw the thing moving.
As you look back towards the front door of your home, you can see there's like a glass pane next to your door that normally is like covered by a curtain, and you can see the silhouette of this thing making it to your door, and some of the broth of this beef stew that you were making beginning to seep underneath the door, red as the red wine used for the recipe.
I book it. I start running down the street. Fuck this sheep.
And as you begin running down the street, you can still hear the sheep in your head. If you can find a library, perhaps we can figure out the truth together. People are in danger. There's not much places to go.
Fuck. And like is not talking to the sheep, is taking in the information, is not talking to the sheep, and is just running.
Yeah.
If he ends, and subconsciously that might end him up towards the library as like a place to maybe go to, but is just full on just running.
Yeah, and anytime you stop and like take a look behind you, you can actually just barely out of the corner of your eye see that golden sheep just in the corner of your eye. And as we find ourselves drifting yet again to another location in the city, this time we find a 4-star hotel named the Lancaster. More specifically, we find ourselves in a hallway on the 3rd floor. dozens of women stand straight as a statue. At least until you get to the head, as each head is hung uncomfortably low. Makeup palettes and small mirrors have been dropped on the floor, surely producing some years of bad luck for all those who lost their grip. Our attention falls on a modeling casting call, and more specifically, it falls onto the graceful but disgraced Layla Patel. Rise and shine, Layla. Your eyes open, and your neck is sore from the hanging onto the weight of your head as you realize you too fell asleep standing up in line with all of these other models. You see yourself in the now cracked phone screen of a smartphone on the ground previously held by the girl just ahead of you in line. In this reflection, what do we see?
As Layla looks in this cracked screen, she takes a look at her face. Still perfect, chiseled, very immaculately done. The makeup, obviously, accentuating that. I mean, she's really hoping she doesn't break out because of said makeup, but she can figure that out later. But checks her hair, long, down to her shoulders with some balayage in there. Looks fine, I guess. Yeah, she's gonna... Oh, God, what the fuck happened? Oh, God, it feels like that time I was in Ibiza. God.
And as you look around, you can actually see that there's no one that can actually respond to what you just said. Everyone's head remains hung low. Everyone stays stiff as a statue. You are alone, the only one conscious here. And your attention to yourself is snatched away by the sound of a voice coming from the conference room at the end of this hall. You were in line to have your photo taken as part of an audition process. It's been a long while since you've been in this position, but before you have a chance to feel out the familiarity, the voice sounds again. Next candidate, please enter the conference room.
Layla
No
immediately
one
sort of...
moves. No one is awake but you.
What the fuck was that? She's like almost not exactly sure if like... She's been to a bunch of modeling casting calls. That did not sound normal to her, but she's gonna like stay still, like kind of look around. I'm assuming she's not exactly the first person in line still.
She is not. You're actually like a good 8 spots behind the door. And as you like look ahead of you, the door is still closed, so you're not sure why you heard the voice so clearly. But as you're sitting there contemplating, you hear the voice again. Next candidate, please enter the conference room.
Almost very unsure of whether or not she like is even gonna try and second guess herself. She just sort of starts stepping her way over to the door because it looks like no one else is going to, or at least no one else can. So, fuck it, might as well.
And as you approach the door creaks open, and inside, all you see is darkness. But a little bit of light does manage to come from around the corner, perhaps on the opposite side of the room as the door. You'd have to enter and turn left to find out.
A normal person would be very cautious, very apprehensive. But Layla Patel is not a normal person. She did not get to where she is by being cautious. So she's gonna throw caution to the wind and just stride in.
As you walk into the room and you turn to the left, you can see the backdrop at the other end of the room, surrounded by a key light and a fill light. No hair light, of course, amateur hour. And you can see the tripod with the camera sitting perfectly still in between the middle of them. You hear the voice say, "Step forward. On your mark."
She does so. Still kind of putting in the back of her mind, just what the why exactly does this voice sound like that? But hey, maybe it's a promotional stunt. I don't. A lot of things in her mind right now, but she came here to do something. She might as well go through with the audition.
And as you step onto your mark, the two lights in your face blind you to the rest of the room for just a moment. And you go ahead and you line yourself up for whatever this headshot is going to be. And I would like you to make a control save for me.
Oh boy, here we go. Just double checking, it's rolling a d20, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That is a 3, and I believe my control is a 14.
All right. So as the camera flashes, there is a moment where you can feel something in your chest begin to pull toward the camera. Something within your essence feels like it was grabbed, but you manage to wrench its control away. And as the camera flashes and reflects off the backdrop behind you, the green of this green screen backdrop reflects back outward towards the rest of the room, and you can see the rest of these casting agents are all asleep, leaned back in their chairs, and you're still not sure where the voice comes from before the light dies back down. And the voice says to you one more time, "Turn to the side. Side profile."
What the fuck? Layla, seeing the whole scene with seeing the crew and the other casting agents definitely asleep does set off a lot of alarm bells in her mind, because if they didn't say that voice, who the hell did? This is starting to get a little too much, even for her standards, and believe me, her standards have definitely dropped. But this is getting to be a new low, even for her. So she's gonna try and start making her way out of there. She can call it quits. She can find another audition. Nope, she's good. No. There will always be more work.
And so as you begin heading towards the door, you hear click, 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 click. The tripod behind you has turned around. Click, 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 click. You're being followed.
Layla starts picking up the pace as which she is getting out of there. She was probably just start slowly walking. Now she's almost speed walking, almost breaking into a light jog.
Yeah, and as you exit this room, you see, again, every single one of these models, heads slouched over, still standing in line. And you know that there's an elevator at the end of the hallway as well. There's an elevator halfway through the hallway, as well as stairs at the very end of the hallway. Where are you heading?
Layla will try the elevator first, mainly because walking down some flights of stairs in her heeled boots, is gonna be more work than it really needs to be. So let's take the elevator.
And so as you get to the elevator, you're pressing the button and you're waiting for the elevator to come down. And excuse me. You're waiting for the elevator to come down, and you feel the unconscious hand of one of the models grab onto one of your arms, like they're trying to stop you from leaving. As you look up, you see every single one of these models are beginning to link arms like a chain, and you can hear at the end of the hallway, click, 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 click. The camera's coming. The elevator's still descending. What are you doing?
She's going to try to break. She'll probably like scream a little bit, like yell about like the moment she feels that model's hand grab her arm. But sort of like seeing the chain link of models and that sound that tripod is making is actively going to start increasing the stress level. And she's just going to try at least to break the grip she has and just said, you know what, I think I really need I really need to get my steps up anyway, so you know what, she's going to start making her way over to the stairs.
And so you begin running to the stairs. I'm going to have you make me one more roll. This one is going to be a dexterity roll.
Okay. Let's see. Normally, I would love that. I rolled a 17 and my dex is a 12.
All right. So as you make it to the stairs, with your panic and the fact that you're in heels, and you might be able to run in heels some days, but right now you're panicked and you stumble a little bit trying to make it down the stairs. At one point you trip and you fall on your ass, probably hurt your tailbone quite a bit as you take 2 damage.
I can live with that. I will live with that.
Yeah. As you stumble and you manage to get up, holding your tailbone as you continue down the stairs, you eventually see an emergency exit and you're able to leave the Lancaster Hotel.
What in the... She has many questions, but she's just trying to put that all out of her mind and just get as far fucking away as possible.
And so, as you begin moving down the street, trying to figure out where to go next, what is happening, you start noticing, as you walk by a jewelry shop, every single customer is completely unconscious. You look out towards the rest of the street, you see a taxi cab has swerved into a small video game shop, and you can notice that a traffic light is flickering constantly between all 3 of its colors, and eventually you hear a voice from behind you. Hello, Dreamer.
She'll sort of turn around to immediately look at the voice, sort of like clutching like her purse, I guess, to like use as like a improv weapon.
You're not asleep. You look down and you see a golden baby sheep.
Yeah, no shit.
You're not like everyone else.
I mean, that's obvious, duh.
If I'm in need of help, stranger, and if you're awake and able, I can help you if you can help me.
What's in it for me?
The baby sheep, like, you could see the baby sheep's body, like, turn, like it's looking at the rest of the city, and, like, turn again towards the jewelry shop, and then look back up to you, and then they just go, are you able to get out of this city on your own? With everyone asleep, but you.
She sort of like pauses and just like has that sort of like face that's like she doesn't want to admit you're right, but she knows you're right.
Please come with me. I can protect you. We just need to find a place of great knowledge.
Like what?
A library of sorts.
Oh god, I have to go to a library? Jesus.
And as the two of you begin to go look for this library, the last thing you hear on your journey from this baby sheep is, by the way, I do enjoy the strange appendages that you attach to your feet.
Well, I'm glad someone enjoys them at least. Probably, it's probably at this point that she'll probably just kick them off and just kick them off and just grab them. Those were expensive, by the way. She is not leaving them there. She's taking them with her, but she's kicking them off and walking barefoot for now.
And finally, we find ourselves fading away from this scene, going through the walls of different buildings until we find ourselves in a hole-in-the-wall dive bar. The kind of place you go when you're at your lowest. It reeks of spilled booze and a little bit of blood, as debris from a bar fight litters the dingy old wooden floors. Bodies are laying everywhere, in their stools, in their booths, at the pool table in front of the jukebox. A notable spot in particular is right in between the pool table and a booth, where one body lays on top of another. The one on the bottom of this small pile is none other than Harlan Yoon. Rise and shine, Harlan. You find yourself with a splitting headache, trapped under the body of another man. The last memory you had before you fell unconscious was him pinning you to the ground with a pool cue that lays in between the two of you now. You had no idea where the fight was going, but now it seems that you weren't the only one that ended up unconscious by the end of it. Everyone in the bar is asleep, even your assailant snores on top of you. Assuming you eventually push him off of you and rise to your feet, you even see the television in the corner of the room is still on the evening news. And in this television broadcast, you see that the news anchors themselves are also collapsed at their desk, but no one is able to turn off the broadcast. The TV's self-timer ticks on, announcing that it has been on for far too long without interaction, and it deactivates itself. And as you stare into the dark box, your reflection looks down on you. What do we see?
Harlan Yoon is a man in just about 40. His hair, bangs are... There's still some residue of what would seem to be gel or some kind of pomade, as it seems that his hair is mussed out, greasy. He's wearing just what seems to be some sort of flashy Letterman jacket of some kind. Eye bags, face nearing gaunt, sallow, just a truly sad and tired, exhausted man. But there's a stature that looks like it was once there.
As you begin to rise to your feet, taking in this sight of a dilapidated bar, people asleep all around you, even on the news broadcast, you look over to the left of you and you see the analog clock on the wall is tilted over. The hands are frozen, and the numbers have all been replaced with the number 0. As you take in your surroundings, the jukebox in the corner begins to play without prompting. It clicks and it whirs into action And soon the air is filled with the sound of a heartbeat. What do you do?
I pick up the pool cue. I don't want to fucking hear that fucking sound. And I go towards it, and I want to smash it.
You go to smash the jukebox, and as you do, the heartbeats get faster and faster with every smash. And as you smash into it, the jukebox begins to bleed, and this pool of blood begins to flood the floor around your feet. I want you to make me a control save.
I got a 12 out of 15.
12 out of 15. So you can feel the stress of this moment building up, almost like the telltale heart in an Edgar Allan Poe story. You can feel like the whole room is beginning to reverberate with this heartbeat, and the jukebox bleeds, and it's starting to get to a point where the puddle of blood is covering the sole of your shoes, and the world around you begins to feel more and more red as the lights begin to flicker to another color. The dark hue begins to get red, and then a slight pink, and then a darker red. And the lights begin to flicker on and off.
What? What? What is it that you want?
And as you ask this question into the dark, the lights flash back on, this time naturally colored. And the jukebox behind you lets out one last heartbeat. And as it does, you can hear it click and whir one more time as if it's moving to another track. And as it does, you hear the voice come through this jukebox. Harlan. Why'd you do it? Have you no self-control?
I begin to root through the pockets of some of the men that have fallen onto the ground, and I would want to see if I can find something, like a knife, better gun, something along those lines.
As you began to move your feet away from the jukebox, you actually are going to need to make me a strength save.
2 out of 8.
Oh, out of 8? But that's a success. You feel your feet were beginning to feel like they were stuck in the blood. As you lift your legs from the blood, your shoes feel like they're adhered there. You're beginning to realize that you are in a trap. It's trying to keep you here. The adhesive blood that you pull your feet away from as you run over to the other bodies of people looking for some sort of other piece of self-protection that you could use, you eventually find, of course, a small pocket knife. Where do you go next?
The voice came to me from the jukebox, right?
Yes.
I'm not of my mind, and I haven't been for over 50 hours. I run towards it with the knife part out, and I want to get through glass. I want to get through the mechanical whatever the fuck is inside of a jukebox and just get it to stop.
Go ahead and roll me a... The jukebox can't fight back, and therefore this is going to have enhanced damage. So you get to roll a d12.
An 11.
11. You pierce through the glass hull of the jukebox with this knife, and as you dig deep into its carapace, you feel the guts of this machine, and as you pull your hand free, just like blood dripping down your hand, this strange substance covers you. And you hear the door behind you open. The door behind what leads to the kitchen behind the bar. And you see the body of a man you once knew, of a man you once failed. What do you do?
And the body is, it has the clothes, it has the effects.
Yes. Everything, just like you remember it.
I walk backwards and I am going to try to run out of the bar.
You run out of the bar, pushing through the door, and as you do, that adhesive blood, you feel it squelching underneath your feet as you push through, making it out into the city before you. You see across the street, one of the buildings has flames billowing through a window as someone wasn't able to cool off their dinner in time. You see people asleep everywhere. And that includes a person crashed before you on a moped, laying on the ground, arm broken but sleeping soundly. As you stand here on this exterior of this bar with the neon sign Benders shining over the top of your back, you hear a voice to your left. You are not asleep. You're not like everyone else.
God?
When you look... No, you can call me Myriad. I'm down here. You see a talking baby sheep with gold fleece. Are you able to come with me? I can protect you. All you have to do is help me, I can help you. Maybe we can solve all of this.
And why the fuck would I do that?
Or would you rather stay here?
Is there a little bit more information? Little animal?
It seems that perhaps the veil between the world of dreams and yours has been crossed. We must set back the natural order. All we need is a place of knowledge, a library. There must be others.
What do you know about me?
You are a dreamer. You are not asleep. Not like everyone else. You have fingers, thumbs. You can open doors.
That's most people.
Well, most people aren't awake.
If I follow you and I get into any shit, you're turning into dinner.
I do not believe I would be very nutritious.
Doesn't matter.
Then let's find the library. And hopefully, neither of us will die.
I push the guy off of the moped. Look at the gas. No helmet, whatever. There's a library. It's down here somewhere.
And as you drive off with Myriad, we fade away as we go to our break.
Just before that, let's roll for a winner. So, the nerdy simulation, I will be reaching out to you, and you are the proud new winner of 6 official Liminal Horror modules. We're going to repeat this giveaway, so please don't enter in Sandman again, but we'll get right back into it. There will be another winner right after break. We might wait a little bit just to get some stuff rolling in. I'll go ahead and restart that giveaway so people can get right back into it. But yeah, we will see you after a few minutes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. You're in Bad House territory. Let's go. We got some announcements real quick to get through before we get back to the game. So first off, we have Bad House RPG's Grindhouse Anniversary one-shot starting this Friday, February 7th, with Monster Hearts 2, GM'd by Fabian. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, we have Candela Obscura, GM'd by Dan Pixel. We also have February 21st with Spirit of 77, GM'd by Kendo. And February 28th, we're going to be ending off the month with another Liminal horror game, GM'd by Ambrose. Additionally, we also have Midnight Rush coming back on Tuesday, February 11th. Midnight Rush is Bad House's Hunter the Reckoning show in the Greater Darkness Eternal universe taking place in New York. And as always, check out Bad House RPG's YouTube channel to find VODs of all of our other series. We're on a backlog at the moment, but you'll find Darkness Eternal series is actually up to date. Joe?
Yeah, and congratulations to Satine Bonet. You are the proud new winner and owner of 6 official Liminal Horror modules. We're going to do one last giveaway tonight. I will start that up. Oh shit, sorry, give me 1 second. Well, starting that up right now. So again, if you haven't already, you can use !Sandman to enter the chance to win download keys to, again, 6 official Liminal Horror modules from Goblin Archives. We will... What am I trying to say? We will announce the winner at the very end of the giveaway, at the very end of the show for the last giveaway. And that's it.
All right, then without further ado, we are going to jump right back into our nightmarish little tale of little dreams of sorts here in Crescent Valley City. We descend onto the bird's eye view of Crescent Valley's downtown public library. The library stands at about 2 stories tall, with a completely flat roof and windows on both floors. And as we reach the ground level, the first thing that we see is a beat-up Beetle car rolling up toward the scene, with Tyler Crow in the front seat alongside with a passenger that is a small golden lamb. Tyler, I'm sure you stopped along the journey to pick up something over your time. You're in a bit of a survival scenario. There has to be something that you picked up equipment-wise on the way over here. What are you carrying along with you?
So I did pick up a set of bolt cutters because I figured the library is probably closed at this point of the night, and so I'm going to need something to break in with, and that was the first thing he was able to grab. And so he, with this pair of bolt cutters in the back seat and I guess a sheep in the passenger seat, has driven up to the library wondering if a sheep told me to do it is a good enough excuse in court for Grand Theft Auto.
Honestly, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good excuse. They'll definitely buy that.
This is a Son of Sam situation.
As you pull up to this library, you do indeed find that there is a good amount of traffic on this street. So you actually can't pull up directly in front of the library. There's cars backed up everywhere. So unless you were to pull up onto the sidewalk and pull as far as you can without running over a sleeping person, you won't be able to get too close to the library. So you have to walk just a little bit to get there. As you approach the library, you make it to the front door, and you can actually see the librarian is asleep, face pressed against the glass, as they were literally just locking the door as the slumber took them. That leaves you standing here with a sheep directly next to you and bolt cutters in hand. What is your plan?
So he sees this, and then he knocks on the glass, and he goes, "Yeah, I didn't think so." And before he tries to, so the door's locked just by, I imagine just a normal lock on a door. So he's gonna try and smash the windows in with the bolt cutters, hopefully in a way that doesn't break this poor librarian's face on the other side.
Yeah, you go over to it's double doors, and so you're able to move over to one of the other doors and try to just repeatedly smash into the window until it creates a big enough hole for you to be able to slip your hand through and unlock it. The door is fairly easy to push open at that point, and you're able to get into the library.
I look over at Myriad and I say, "Okay, so I've brought you to the library. Is there a plan from here? What are we doing now?"
Just follow me. I'll lead the rest of the way.
Sure. Follow the talking lamb into the library. Yeah. Cool. Normal things that you do on a Wednesday night.
You follow this lamb as you hold the door open for them, as they have no thumbs. They move forward into the library, and you see as you get in the aisles, just aisles upon aisles of books, and then a staircase that leads up to the second floor. And you see that there is another one of the librarians asleep face first at the front counter, with you would assume it's going to leave a rather nasty mark in their face because they're asleep right on top of a set of pens. And as you are beginning to walk your way following this lamb through the library, you actually hear the sound of another motor outside. Harlan, you used a moped. And so, Harlan, you actually pull up to the front doors of this library. A moped is a lot more dexterous for getting through a more crowded street. And you see that the door is already propped open, and the glass on one of the doors is actually already shattered.
Is Myriad with me?
Yes, Myriad is with you. They're sitting on the back of your moped.
I don't know how the fuck that you stayed on. You sure this is the fucking place? This looks raided.
If it's been raided, there must be another person who's awake.
That sounds fucking bad for me.
It could be very good for you.
If anything goes wrong, I'm killing you. And Harlan's still a little drunk, obviously. Fine.
You head into this library with Myriad in tow. And as you do, I'm going to cut back over to Tyler. You hear the sound of a motor outside come to a stop. Another human's voice, clear as day, and you hear that coming through the library front door. What are you doing?
Goes, thank God, that sounds normal. And then he starts to walk back to the front of the library, just immediately, like, not actually concerned with where the little sheep is, just wants to talk to another normal human, and so is going to go and find whoever that is.
And so, Harlan, you are walking into this library fully suspicious that there is someone else in here. And despite that, Myriad has led you to just trust the process, essentially. You are walking in and you hear footsteps coming from behind one of the shelves that form aisles. What do you do as you hear the footsteps approaching?
I pick up a book and I start to get a little stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case.
And eventually you see Tyler peek around the corner. Tyler, you do not immediately see Harlan as they are being a little bit stealthy. But you do see another golden sheep walking through the front doors of the library.
How did you get? You were up there.
Who are you?
Oh, great. There's more than one of you. Please tell me you didn't get here on a moped.
I throw a book at you.
Well,
God damn it.
So this book materializes from behind the bookcase, and as you look to the right, there's another person.
What the hell?
Are you a murderer?
I'd be a pretty shitty one if I was.
And as the two of you are having this showdown, we eventually find our way to... Oh, by the way, Harlan, you probably also had a chance to stop looking for equipment along the way. What else did you bring to this library?
I might have either raided the bar to see if there's anything, and I think I found like what seems to be like an emergency med kit for exactly the amount of fights that would happen at a hole in the wall dive bar situation. So I grabbed a med kit, yeah.
Of course. And as the two of you are having this showdown, we are going to jump over to Dr. James Dunnington. Dr. James, you've been sprinting for a while now. How are your legs doing? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling the burn for sure, but I generally keep in shape. So I'm as tired as a fit person would be, having ran however many miles it is to get from my house to the library.
You are very fast, sir.
Still not like trying to focus completely on the road that I am on. I am not listening to the sheep.
And along your running, I know you brought your gun. Was that the piece of equipment that you went out of your way to grab?
Oh, absolutely. There's no way I stopped anywhere. I ran all the way here.
Completely understandable.
I ran all the way here. The last time I looked back, there was a meat woman chasing me. I didn't stop.
That's completely valid. You don't want to stop for the meat woman.
No, you don't stop for the meat woman.
But as your legs begin to tire out after just minutes upon minutes of running, you're not sure how long it's been. You do actually see the public library that this lamb that you saw about, who knows, 20 minutes ago, could have been 10 minutes ago, could have been 30, you're not sure. But you see this library ahead of you. You see its door is open and the glass is shattered.
I think it's about now that I'm running out of steam, and like as I start like petering out, like right by the steps leading up to like the pathway to the front door, and I just kind of fall over like onto like just like kind of kneeling down. I think I take a knee, and it's just like a very dry cough as like my lungs are on fire and like my head is pounding from all of the blood racing, and just like like coughing, wheezing, just trying to catch my breath. And then like there's the moment where I remember like a gym class where like a teacher told me having my hands above my head opens up my lungs, so I'm just like, ugh, and I'm trying to like I get back up and everything hurts, and I'm like just trying to move in the direction of the front door so I can get inside, but just like fully not having a good time.
And as you're beginning to catch your breath, you notice the lamb that you saw before is still trailing behind you, now catching up to you fully as you are coming to a stop in front of this door.
The moment I see it, I start fuck, and I start jogging away from it into the building.
But I'm not trying to. Okay.
Not listening, not just running into the building.
And so Harlan and Tyler, you see an older, tired, I assume sweating, panting, breathing hard as hell person stumbling into the front door of the library as well.
Just run. I probably run into someone because I am super not paying attention.
He might be a murderer.
Oh fuck. It just bends over. Just fully gone. Oh, they got someone here. Oh god. Oh god. There's a meat woman.
Would you believe me if I said that was the second worst thing that I've seen tonight?
Oh, God. You saw the sheep too.
Points
We have a
at.
really weird way of ranking things. Yeah, there's apparently more than one.
What? Oh fuck! And like sees the sheep, immediately pulls out my gun.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey,
Oh,
hey,
whoa,
hey,
whoa, whoa,
hey.
whoa, whoa!
Hello.
Get away from the sheep! Everyone, get the fuck behind me! Get these fucking sheep!
And you
Calm
see
down.
the sheep that followed you, like, comes around your ankle and sees the other sheep and goes,
Myriad!
and the other one immediately responds back,
Myriad!
and the two of them roll up towards each other, and as they brush past each other, they turn into a ball of light, and they begin to solidify into a singular, a little bit larger sheep.
Fuck.
Is this what
That's like
drugs
a-
feels like?
Yeah.
And as this is happening, we find our final dreamer. Layla, you've been wandering through the streets looking for this library for minutes now. What have you found on your journey to help you?
So I think after recovering from the shock of whatever the fuck that eldritch tripod and the whole chain link of models situation was, she did remember that she does always pack like a taser inside her purse for self-defense purposes. So she would immediately have pulled that out, just kind of just like gripping it, just like eyes just sort of darting to and fro, just to make sure like nothing is sort of like gonna come at her.
And as you walk down the street and the sheep is walking behind you, they go,
Is that the library?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I've never really been, at least not since like high school. I mean, God.
We must go to the
Why
place
do
of
we like to spend
knowledge.
time there? Oh, God. I have to. I mean, God, why do people like spending time there? Jesus.
and as you begrudgingly head towards this library, you also notice the broken glass, the swung open door, but immediately upon walking in, you can see a showdown of three people overlooking a larger golden sheep, all sort of yelling at each other. One of them is holding a gun pointed at the sheep.
Okay, what the fuck is happening here? Is this a cult? Please do not fucking tell me I've wandered into some fucking cult. I swear to God.
Immediately turn and point my gun.
Hey!
Yeah, oh,
What?
there's another one. There's a fucking other one.
Myriad!
And you see the third sheep go to join the hole.
No, we gotta get the fuck out of here. No, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Well, did you all also get told by your sheeps? Is sheeps the plural? Is it just sheep? Did all of you get told to come to a library?
Yes.
It's sheep. It's just sheep.
Yeah?
Doesn't fucking matter.
So maybe we should probably still be
I agree
here.
with him.
No. This is just like basic level stuff. If a thing starts, if a golden thing made out of fucking light and magic and dreams starts popping up telling you to do shit, don't do it. Just
Dreamer.
don't.
I'm
Listen.
not to Mr.
Dreamer.
Gunnut over there.
Don't fucking listen to the lamb. All right,
You
that lamb.
hear- Tyler, the lamb that you followed in that had gone ahead of you has come back around from the rest of the aisles and seen the larger three sheep hole that you've scene formed before you all, and same reaction as the other ones.
Myriad!
And they go and they reform into a full-grown sheep. This time, full round, perfectly rounded golden fleece. And they all look upon you.
Hello. You have helped Myriad rejoin the whole.
No. And Chips
What is
are trying to back
objectionable?
out. You are objectionable. All of this shit, the meat, the sleeping people, this.
From what I can understand, now that my pieces have been gathered, your world has a veil torn through it. There is a way to repair it, but there's still one more piece of me to find. I don't know where they are. There must be another dreamer.
Look, I've had my fair share of people telling me about things from the great beyond and how to bring about peace and whatnot, and it doesn't usually end too well for the people who blindly follow along. So if we're gonna help you, I'm gonna need something to know that this is the right direction to go in.
What kind of something are you looking for?
Good faith. I don't know.
Do a miracle right now.
What? No, that's nothing. It can
What
be
they
bad
said.
and do a miracle. What?
You could do something tangible. You're made out of light.
Perform
I
a
don't
miracle.
think that doing tricks necessarily is the answer.
It just
But-
proves it's magic.
Right, which I think we
Tricks.
already know at this point.
Tricks aren't miracles.
What is a miracle?
Something miraculous. Like I don't fucking know. Like
Turning water into wine, bringing back the dead. Literally, none of that tells us the morality of the sheep. It just means it has power, which makes it more dangerous.
If it has power, it's telling us that it can protect something, I guess. If it's clearly wanting to be on our good side, I want to see it fucking do something.
Layla immediately points at Harlan to like agree with whatever the fuck he's saying. Like, exactly.
Then you want me to perform something beneficial to you all.
Yeah.
I mean, I am pretty sure that I fractured a rib back there. So, like,
You see Myriad, this large sheep that is formed in the middle of this library, begin to approach you, Tyler. And as they look you up and down, they sort of circle around you.
You're right. Your ribs are slightly cracked. I can't do this very often. I can provide you help, but I only have a little bit of energy.
And Myriad is going to... You see its fur begin to vibrate. And this radiating energy begins to flow through it all. And it radiates in waves, like a flat platform sort of stretches out beneath each of your feet. And for just a moment, you all begin to feel a level of relief. Each of you gain 2 more points onto your hit protection, restoring some of your ability to protect yourself. If you've not lost any hit protection yet, increase your max by 2.
Forever?
Yeah.
Damn.
When we find my last piece, I can provide respite. Time where we can make sure that nothing will go wrong. But I can only do that once. And only if we find my hole, and then the secrets will unlock itself.
How do you guys feel about finding a hole for the sheep?
Finding the sheep's hole.
We gotta find the sheep's hole.
I mean, I can think of one right there. I mean,
We need more information.
for those who are interested.
Well, you look smart. Maybe look. I work at a freaking fry cook kitchen. Okay.
But these are just basic questions.
I don't know the question. Look, listen.
Okay.
Look,
I have my question to you. What is the sheep?
I got here the same time you did, friend.
So did you ask?
The sheep is myriad. I am a dream guide.
That's something.
What
That's
is
a
a
thing.
dream
If
guide?
you're so
I guide people through their dreams, though most don't remember their dreams.
Convenient.
I think this is the afterlife.
No, you are alive, unfortunately.
It's like the last season of Lost.
No.
Don't even get me started with that show. Such a crap ending.
Is that
I don't
what
watch
we're worried
TV.
about right now? Is that what we're worried about now? The crap ending of Lost? While there's a golden
If you're
sheep
so
in front
worried
of
about
us?
those questions, Gramp, why don't you ask them?
Okay. Myriad. What the fuck is going on?
Fabric
There
torn
is-
in the space.
No,
of-
I understand. I get that. But why are you here? And why do there become multiples of you based on who isn't affected by this? And why would we not be affected by it?
With the knowledge that I have, with the pieces of me that we've gathered, what I can tell you is that someone around your realm, a human just like you, has purposefully sought out a way into the land of dreams. To cure what? I'm unsure. But they tore a hole, and they won't close it. Some people have particularly powerful dreams. The city as a whole is manifesting the collective unconscious's nightmares. But you all, your dreams are especially powerful. And so are your nightmares. If we want this all to end, we have to work together. Otherwise, it's you against the city's nightmares and your own, all by yourself.
Wait. They won't fix it?
You can't unless we work together.
What do you think this other part of you is?
I can feel them, just barely. They're near here. A place not too far from the library.
And you can feel a slight rumble radiating from Myriad for just a second. And as they do, they stop and look up to you and go,
Unfortunately, we have a visitor.
and you all hear a noise coming from upstairs in the library.
We should escape first.
And at that, I think we're going to end for the night before what comes down the library descends upon you.
Great, wonderful, love that.
Okay.
I love not answering questions.
Really?
Fantastic.
Whew. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. This was a very, very fantastic stream. Thank you all for welcoming me as a GM. I am, once again, Oleander. You can find my pronouns as they, them. My handle is Stray Nerd Boy in Twitter, TikTok, Tumblr, Blue Sky. I'm in a lot of places, just not Instagram or Facebook. I don't use Meta, any of that stuff. And I don't have anything else to plug, so I'm gonna throw it to Josephine.
Hello, everyone. I have been Josephine at Scary Dog Friend, and Harlan Yoon is a bastard. You can find me, once again, Grindhouse Anniversary one-shots are happening every Friday of February. You can catch me this Friday playing Monster Hearts 2, alongside Laurel Rothamel, Maddie Duvernay, and Blizzbear, being GM'd by Fabian. We'll be playing a very wild, akin to Carrie and Raw version of Monster Hearts 2. And also remember to catch Midnight Rush February 11th, Tuesday, which again is me, Laurel Rothamel, Stella, and Ambrose playing hunters in a very fucked up vampire world. I'll pass it over to Abhishek.
Oh no, your audio's not working.
We'll pass it for now to Tyler. For Sean. God, fuck, it's happening.
Hi, everybody. I have been Tyler Crow. IRL, my name is Sean. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me on all socials at HighGainZad, mostly on Blue Sky nowadays since TikTok is weird and everything else got taken over by Nazis. So that's mostly where I'm going to be at, just on there, just kind of posting. I'm also on Imagination Arcade, twitch.tv/Imagination Arcade. We'll probably be running some stuff soon. And then what's the other thing? I am also working on a Star Wars actual play over on the Level Up Sabers YouTube channel. So if you want to see us play some Star Wars flavored scum and villainy, the first 3 episodes are up now, and the next few are going to be up as soon as I can get around to editing those. So yeah, I'm doing some stuff, and yeah, that's I think all I've got to plug right now. But I'll throw it over to Kendo.
Hey, I've been Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer, and you can find me anywhere on the internet that matters at Kendo Makes Films, and you can find my actual play podcast, Tales Yet Told, wherever you get your podcasts, and on the internet and social medias at Tales Yet Told. You can also find me here on Bad House, the 21st, doing a fun little grindhouse blaxploitation. I ran out of air as I was talking. One shot where we're playing Spirit of 77, and it's going to be fun. I guess it was fun. We pre-recorded it yesterday, and it was great. So I'm excited for you all to see that. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. And now I will pass it on over, if he is ready, to Abhishek.
I can try. Oh, is it working?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. I don't know if captions are going to come up because I think it's finicky right now, but I'll go on without it. Hi, everyone. My name is Abhishek Matange. I'm a voice actor, TTRPG AP performer, and Tokusatsu enjoyer. You can find me over on Neon Raiden at most places, including the former bird site, Blue Sky. So you can find me at neon_Raiden or Neon Raiden, some variation of the forum. Yeah, I'm not in any other projects aside from this one, obviously, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I've been playing Layla Patel, and she is an absolute sassy motherfucker, if not very better, and very caustic, and just, ooh, I love her. I can't wait for y'all to meet her.
Okay, we'll round out this last giveaway entry. Peanutty222, of all of the winners, make sure that you check your Twitch messages so that I can get a best email. Congratulations to the Nerdy Simulation. Congratulations to Satine Benet, our first 2 winners. You'll be getting 6 official Liminal Horror modules, and if you come back next Wednesday, bring your friends. It'll be the same thing and maybe a little bit more giveaways. We'll see. That's it for us. Good night, everyone.